folks, just a quick catch up. I haven't done a video in a while, so I thought I'd better catch up, let you know what I've been up to and why I've not been able to do many videos lately. Basically, I've been trying to sort out my youngest. He's in nursery, and he's basically been having some trouble with what we've now found out is asthma. He was having a few ups and downs and not being very well and having a lot of issues. And basically, the upshot of it was he's now on lots of inhalers and stuff like that, which is a little bit scary. I mean, I've kind of been all through this with my daughter, but she wasn't diagnosed until she was 6. So we had a lot of years where we had, she had chest infection after chest infection and this, that, and the other. And it wasn't until she was 6 that they actually found that she had that she was asthmatic. But this time it's sort of been diagnosed, and my youngest is 2, so it's been diagnosed a little bit earlier, which is good because I know what to expect and what to look out for. But at the same time, for such a little lad and he's having all this medication, it's quite scary, especially with the situation in the world being as it is. So he's been off on sort of isolation because he's been quite unwell through this whole period, and we don't know whether it was the big virus or not really. So he was put on sort of 7 days isolation, and which finishes tomorrow, and I think he's going to be, well, he's bouncing off the walls. He's sort of had a lot of problems with his back teeth as well coming through, and he's not coped with that too well, so he's sort of seems to be constantly on cowpole, which is not a good thing, to be, on that kind of stuff too much. I'm very reluctant to give, I'm always worried about over medicating, as it were. But at the moment, he's sort of on the mend. And so hopefully tomorrow I can take him out for a nice walk and get him out in the fresh air, which will do him a lot of good. My other two, my daughter got sent home Wednesday because she felt a bit hot and dizzy. So there was a bit of a panic. Oh, she might have the virus or whatever. So she got sent home, and then my other son got sent home because my daughter got sent home, and now they're going to be off school anyway, because although my husband, strangely enough, is classed as an essential worker, he's on the list because he works in for a frozen food company. But because I'm at home, they can't go back to school. So there we are, they've got to stay at home. So hopefully next week we're going to try and do some kind of homeschooling. And of course they're at senior school, because I've got sort of teens and toddlers at home. So we're gonna think of some ideas. We have actually come up with a few ideas of what kind of subjects we want to do. I mean, I know a fair bit about medieval England and sort of little bit on War of the Roses, and my children are interested in doing the Tudors. So I know I'm quite interested in the Tudors. I know a little bit about them, but we can probably do a bit more research on that and make that into a project. We could maybe do some sing-alongs for a music class. And my daughter's got her drum kit upstairs, a little practice pads that she uses because she does drum lessons, so she's going to be obviously doing those. My son wants to learn guitar. I need to sort out his form so he can do that at school. But in the meantime, perhaps we'll find something on YouTube where he could maybe learn some guitar basics. I've thought about doing some English literature with them, and I've talked to them about that, and we thought, yeah, we'll do a chapter and discuss it, and do another chapter and discuss it. I think we're going to do, I suggested maybe doing George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones, because I know a fair bit about that book. I really enjoyed the saga, and I think Game of Thrones isn't too bad, and they're not little kids anyway, so That should be fine. And if there's anything inappropriate, I'll just sort of try and gloss over that. And but I wanted to find a book that would be challenging for them and something that they would understand, because they're quite high readers. They've got much high reading ages than their actual age. So I wanted something a little bit challenging and a little bit, something to really sort of new and something to get their teeth into. So I thought that would be quite interesting. We'll see how we get on with that. So that's a couple of things. English, I'm hoping that the school will be setting up, I think the children talked about Google Classroom or something, so the school might be setting up some work anyway for them. But in case they don't, we're going to be perhaps doing some cooking and lots of other little bits and bobs, as well as helping with the housework and helping me with their brother and everything else. And perhaps we'll try and get some nature walks done, and some sort of use maybe some YouTube for exercise and stuff like that, because which I'll come to in a minute. I've been sort of working on a couple of courses that are a little bit to do with self-improvement, and one of them has set me some work, so I need to do that anyway, which sort of ties in with the fitness thing a little bit. So yeah, it's at the moment I'm not too worried by everything. My own parents are under 70, luckily, and my in-laws, or they're both over 70, but they're in Shropshire, so they're safely away from us. Not, we miss them a lot, but at least, we can't pass anything on to them if we, get anything. So they're sort of right out in the countryside, which is probably the best place for them. So yeah, it's not too bad, and I'm feeling particularly grateful that my husband's in the kind of job he is, because that means that he can carry on working. He's had to kind of this week he's been on a night shift anyway, so he's kind of had to self-isolate himself from us, so we haven't had sort of a lot of contact with him. We're practicing sort of social distancing at home, as it were, because, well, he's on nights, and although he really misses us and wants time with us, it'll all work itself out in the end. So at the moment we're okay. I'm about to go and brave the supermarkets. I've got my list. I appreciate that some of the stuff may not be on my list, but at least if I can get some nappies, then that'll be good. What I'm hoping to do over this period as well is start the potty training, because we tried last year and we didn't get anywhere, and I just think now's a good time as any to get that sorted out, and hopefully get that sorted for when he goes back to nursery. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we might actually get him potty trained. That's going to be lots of fun. And we've also got loads and loads of jobs to do around the house. The place is a tip, to be quite frank, and this is a really good opportunity for us to get things up to how we'd like them to be. So fingers crossed, but I'm going to take each day as it comes. I have to. That is sort of the way I have to live my life. So I take each day as it comes. If I start thinking too far ahead and start getting panicky and set myself too much, then I end up not achieving what I want to achieve, and then I end up going downhill. So at the moment I feel pretty galvanised, pretty determined, and I'm in quite a good place, which is, things could be worse. I might not be saying that in a couple of weeks, because I'm already tearing my hair out with those two at home. We'll get there. As I was saying, I've been doing a couple of courses. One of them is a Henry course, which is designed to help parents that are struggling a little bit with their under fives. My under five, my little boy, he's been struggling a little bit with been worried about his speech and his sleeping habits and things like that. and the Henry course is meant to be about healthy families and finding healthy habits and things like that. It's okay. You know, a lot of it is stuff that I already know. I was kind of hoping that there'd be some help with sleeping habits and things like that, and eating habits, and there's been a little bit, but I'm not quite sure that it's quite the right course for me. Um, I think my son's needs are a little bit more specific than what the course allows, but I'll just carry on. It's a useful thing to have. You know, I've had a 9 month, 9 year gap between having my big son and having my little son. So you do kind of, it's almost like a refresher course, to sort of help you remember how to do things, as it were. But yeah, so that's going all right. The other thing I've been doing is a course called Make the Change, and that is a course to help people who have, say, mental health or physical health issues, or are out of work and looking for work and stuff like that, to help them, you know, get fit again and to get fit and healthy again. Now the reason I'm doing it is because I had a road accident 8 years ago, and so I've only got like part of an elbow. So that causes a lot of problems when my 2 year old pulls on it to go to nursery and stuff like that, because the tricep had to be reattached onto healthy bone, and so it's a little bit of a tricky arm, to say the least. As I've sort of got older, and you know, initially they tell you not to do heavy lifting and this, that, and the other, but obviously you've got to live your normal life, and I wasn't expecting to have a toddler, and so my arms come under a lot of stress and strain and everything else. So I'm kind of hoping that this will help me build up strength back in my arm, because I'm sort of still having a few issues with it. And also my leg, I have a few problems with my leg. And also I had when I did have the accident, I ended up with what they call a traumatic brain injury. But when I was at hospital, they only treated me for the elbow, and I only got physiotherapy for the elbow. They didn't really deal with the traumatic brain injury and the concussion. So that has left me with a few issues, um, a few struggles, that, you know, I still find difficult to this day. I have to remind the children that sometimes it takes me longer to concentrate on things, and I can get quite anxious when I can't get things done the way that I need to get them done, or that I forget something, or you know, or and I just really can really upset me when I don't get everything. I mean, I'm a perfectionist at the best of times, but if I perceive that I've not remembered something simple, I can get quite upset and everything else, and short tempered, and um, being hauled up in the house for a while isn't really helping much, but we'll get there. I'm about to go and brave the shops in a minute, so see what I can get for family. I've got my list. I think I said that. I can't remember, because I did record one earlier and something went wrong with it and I lost it. So if I repeat anything in this video, I'm really sorry. It's trying to remember what I said in my last video and trying to make sure I don't repeat it in this, but I might do. That's just me. I tend to repeat things a lot without meaning to, because I can't always remember whether I've said anything. Hey. But yeah, so that's where we are at the moment. Tomorrow is my little one comes out of hibernation, self-isolation. The other two are supposed to be in it for 14 days. So that's going to be interesting. But I think it's more with them social distancing. They seem fine. So I think we're just going to maybe go out to the beach for a walk tomorrow, all of us. Daddy finishes work at 10, so in the morning. So he's doing like a 12-hour shift, so he's we're not really going to see him till sort of 10:30 or something in the morning. But I might take the children out for a walk because I think they need it, and if we go down the beach, there's going to be plenty of space. We won't be near people as such, because we'll go down the quiet end of the beach, which is the north Deans is a much quieter end, so we'll probably go down there and stretch our legs a bit, get some fresh air. Sea always cheers me up, it always makes me feel good. I always feel a lot more chilled when I'm really stressed out. Sorry if I'm recording, I've been out with the baby last night. I always find that when I'm really stressed out, if I go down the beach, everything just seems a lot calmer and less anxious, and I could really do with getting out of the house at the moment. So that's the plan anyway. I hope you're all not tearing your hair out if you're stuck, in self-isolation, or if you're a key worker, good on you, keep going, we need you. Let's get them people healed, and let's get out there, save lives. So my auntie, she's a nurse, and I'm hoping she's out there saving lots of lives and doing her best, and not to mention looking after my nanny, and all the hard work that she does. We don't get to see her enough, but we love you, Auntie Tracy. You take care of yourself, and do your best, because we love you and we miss you and we want to see you as soon as we can. So yeah, you take everybody, take care of yourselves. If you're ill, look after yourselves, get well soon. We're all in this together, blah blah blah. So yeah, I'm just about to go to the supermarket. I'm not going to panic buy. I'm just going to buy what I need. And I hope that will be enough. I'm half expecting a lot of my list to be not there, which, in itself may be an advantage, because we've got to learn to be a bit more creative with what we've got in the house. So I'm hoping to do some more videos, mainly with maybe we'll do some of the learning videos with my older children, show what we're up to. Maybe some cooking in our teeny tiny kitchen, because we have a lovely but teeny tiny kitchen. Can't store a lot. It easily gets full of rubbish, clutter and everything else, and I do want to give it a good deep clean as well. But we're going to be doing some stuff, and I'm, as I say, just about to head out. And perhaps I'll do another video later on, or even in the next couple of days or whatever, just to say how I got on. And everybody take care, and be good to yourselves, and be good and kind to others. Take care. Bye.